Now, my first doctoral hooding ceremony was here in Royce Hall in 2012. And yesterday I looked back on what I said back then. As a preface to the traditional and expected motivational remarks, I expressed concern about declining support for higher education. And I observed that in an increasingly polarized political environment, it had become difficult to have reflective conversations that could actually help solve problems. And I expressed with some dismay that in an internet and social media focused world, any and all opinions were getting equal play, whether informed by facts or not. Well, actually today those observations seem rather mild and maybe even quaint. Yeah. Because now there seems to be even greater disdain for facts. What is an alternative fact anyway? And many people are unwilling or perhaps unable to distinguish facts from opinions. And truly, we are all so exhausted by world events, political drama, faux celebrities, reality TV, and by our own excessive commitments. It gets pretty hard for even the most thoughtful and warm-hearted among us to just pause and really listen to people we don't agree with, to keep our minds open to new ideas, and to be willing to be persuaded to yield our ground and our surely correct position on a particular issue. Yeah. And so, graduates, I challenge you as accomplished and prepared intellectuals, as problem solvers, as agents of change, to lead by example through what you have done here at UCLA and what you will do tomorrow and the next day and the next. You know that the path forward is based on knowledge, discovery, discourse, reasoned and respectful debate, thoughtfulness and empathy, and a willingness to wrestle with complex, multi-sided questions that cannot be answered by just one person or just one side. This is not a political speech advocating for the left or the right or the middle. It's first a request that I think the Chancellor would endorse to take good care of yourself, mind and body. Sleep. Maybe without your phone under your pillow. Exercise. Eat well. Read for pleasure. Yeah. Even off of paper, I don't know. And second, think about creating an action plan that can support your sense of well-being and accomplishment. Being a spectator can be stressful. Action is empowering. Find ways to take responsibility for your future and to contribute to the future of your family and for your community. For example, whether you are convinced by evidence that climate change is real or not, what we do know is that we are all healthier if our air and water are clean. And I'd like to think that we all want our neighbors and children and grandchildren to have clean air and water too, today, tomorrow. So perhaps you might engage in efforts to help ensure the quality of the local or global environment. Many of you, maybe most of you, faced financial challenges in earning your undergraduate and graduate degrees. And as an undergrad, maybe you took out a student loan for which you didn't have to pay interest until you finished your education, including graduate school. Oh, I hate to remind you, but now that you've completed your doctorate, your loan bill is going to come in a few weeks. Sorry. But, imagine if the interest had started adding up from the day you took out the loan, maybe graduate school would not even have been an option for you. Yeah. And that may be exactly the situation that your younger brothers and sisters or your children will face if that no interest benefit goes away. So maybe higher education or student financial aid are arenas where you could be a credible and effective advocate. Okay. And I hear a young person who could benefit from that. Okay. Many of you, and congratulations, were awarded a highly competitive graduate research fellowship from the National Science Foundation. That's awesome. Those 3-year awards provided good stipends, paid most of your tuition and fees, and gave you a great line on your resume, marking you as a rising star in the social sciences or physical sciences or life sciences or engineering. But the budget proposal Congress is considering right now we'll cut the number of those fellowships in half with nothing to fill the gap. And if that happens, it will mean that many fewer students will have opportunities like you have had to earn their PhDs and to prepare for careers as faculty or teachers, as entrepreneurs. So perhaps you'd be interested in advocating for continued support for science education, training and research that leads to new technologies and medicines, a greater understanding of our world and the universe. And finally, you may want to think about what healthcare means to you. These days, as most of you know, very few people stay in one job or at one company for their whole career. Would portable health insurance be important to you if you're in an adjunct position before you get your tenure-track job? And if someone close to you became seriously ill, what would you want for them in terms of their medical care and its financial impact? And maybe you have opinions that are worth communicating to decision makers, whatever they are. It's also possible that none of these issues is particularly important to you, but that others are. Immigration, homelessness, data privacy. Whether you are passionate about saving something or about doing something differently, taking action means you're investing in securing our shared future and making the world a better place. And as UCLA doctoral degree recipients, you have experience, knowledge, and abilities that are exceptional and which make you a credible force. You can set the stage and lead the way. The world actually is in your hands. Graduates, I and my colleagues on the stage, and those not here, are really proud of you. We're also grateful because it has been a privilege to be your teachers and mentors, your coaches, and your cheerleaders. We are truly fortunate to have watched and helped you reach this milestone. You've powered through plateaus and barriers, persevered, and have met and, more often than not, exceeded our expectations. And here you are. Well done. And looking ahead, many of you will go on to careers as faculty and researchers. Others will pursue careers in industry or nonprofits, or become entrepreneurs or entertainers or artists. And many of you already are or will become moms and dads. Whatever your path, please continue to strive not only to reach professional milestones, getting the next grant, earning tenure, your promotion, performing the next recital, but also to fulfill a personal action plan that can support your health and well-being and can make the world a better place. Graduates, our hearts are filled with joy and hope and love for every one of you. Congratulations from the entire UCLA community. We can't wait to see what you do next. Let there be light and go Bruins!